Okay, geometry students, in this video we are going to review how to write a linear equation. Now basically you are going backwards. Last video I gave you equations and you graphed them. In this video I will be giving you the graph or information about the line, and you will then write the linear equation. So we're kind of going backwards. The last video I gave you the equation, you graphed it. In this video I will give you information about the graphs and you will then write the linear equation. Okay? All right. Write this heading in your notes if you would please. Writing linear equations, lesson 3.2b. Writing linear equations, lesson 3.2b, and include today's date if you would please in your notes. Okay? Once again, copy this in your notes if you would please. Writing linear equations, lesson 3.2b, and include today's date. Now, there are three things that you need when writing a linear equation. If you will memorize these three things and use them correctly, you will have no problem writing a linear equation. Let me say that again. There are three things that you need. If you will learn these and use them, you will have no problem writing a linear equation. Okay? So from now on, when you're asked to write a linear equation, remember these three things. And here they are. Please copy these in your notes. Number one, you need a point that lies on the line. So you must have a point, something like this, 2, 6, or whatever the point is. Number two, you must have the slope of the line. So maybe the slope would be something like -2/3. I'm not sure, I'm just making that up. But you need to know the slope of the line. And sometimes you won't know the slope, you'll have to find it. Okay? All right. Number three, you'll need this formula. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. I'm going to pause for a second. Make sure you have all three of these written in your notes. If you have these three things, it is very easy to write a linear equation. Very, very easy. Okay? So, let's go ahead and get started. Let's give this a try and let's see what happens. Okay? Alright, now the pictures for the next three problems are a little blurry. I'm not sure why my camera did not take good pictures. So let's go ahead and use our books, okay? So I want you first of all to pause and write this in your notes if you would please, right here. I want you to write page 112, example number 2, in your notebooks. Please copy this in your notebooks and then turn in your books to page 112. I'm going to pause a second while you do that, okay? You don't need to copy this graph down. It's in your books. All that you need to write down is page 112, example number 2. Please write this in your notes. It's very important you write this in your notes because that way you'll know where your notes came from, okay? And then go ahead and turn your books to page 112, example number 2. Okay. Now, actually, it's kind of funny. I've asked you guys to do that, and I forgot to turn there myself. So hold on one second while your old math teacher turns over there. Okay, here we go. It says, let me go ahead and write some stuff on here that'll be easier for you to see. If you'll notice in your book, this was really blurry, so I blotted it out. It's y equals -3x plus 2. Okay. And this point right here, if you'll look in your book, you'll see all this. It's 2, 1. I apologize that the picture is blurry. It's not usually this bad. And this line to the left is line 1, and this line to the right is line 2. You'll see all of this in your book if you'll look, okay? Now the problem reads as follows. You can follow along as I read it. Line L is given by this equation, line 1 is given by this equation. So, does everybody see this blue line right here? I'm highlighting in red. Here's the equation for that line. Y equals -3x plus 2. Got it? Okay, let's continue on. Line 2 is parallel to line 1 and passes through the point 2, 1. Find the equation for L2. Now listen, students, for the rest of your mathematical life, when someone asks you to write a linear equation, just remember this. It's so easy, guys. Write this down, please. All that you need is a point, the slope, and this formula. So here we go. do we know a point that lies on the line we're looking for? Yes, we do. Here's the line that we're trying to find the linear equation for. And we know a point that lies on that line, 2, 1. So go ahead and fill that in. Isn't that easy? Now, did they give us the slope of this line 2? Do you see m equals anything anywhere? No, you don't. But listen to me. Look at the problem. Please look in your books. In the problem, it says line 2 is parallel to line 1. Do you see that? Look at it there. Line L2 is parallel to line 1, or L1. Well, what have we learned about parallel lines? They have same what? They have the same slope. So students, if I know the slope of this line here, then that has to be the same as this line over here. And you do know the slope of this line. Look, y is all by itself. And if y is all by itself, then the coefficient of x is your slope, -3. So the slope of line 1 is -3. So if the slope of line 1 is -3, then the slope of line 2 also has to be -3 because the two lines are what? Parallel. So now you know the slope. Well, students, once you know these two things, all that you need is this formula. Are you ready? Here we go. This is your x, this is your y, and this is your m. It's your slope. So where the y is, you're going to substitute 1. Where the m is, you're going to substitute -3. Where the x is, you're going to substitute x, which is 2. And then bring down your b. And now you're going to solve for b. And so here we go. Bring down your 1. -3 times 2 is -6. Bring down your positive b. Now, if we're solving for b, we're going to take this -6 and we're going to bring it over. And when we do, we're going to make it a +6. So it's gone. We have a +6. 1 plus 6 is 7. And now you know what b equals. So students, look, this is so easy now to write this linear equation. You know what the slope is. It's 3. You know what b is. It's 7. So just write your linear equation. Y equals, now what comes next? Your slope. So -3x. And then what comes next? Your y-intercept, or b. There you go. That's it. All that you needed was a point, the slope, and this formula. Well, Mr. Earhart, what good is this formula right here? It gives you b. It helps you find b. And once you know b, and once you know m, you just plug them into the formula. Where the m is right here, you put your slope, and where the b is, you put your y-intercept, and you have your answer. So, if you were to graph this linear equation right here, you would get this line right here. You just found a linear equation on your own. Pretty cool. Let's try another one, okay? So in your notes, and once again, this is a little blurry, so I apologize, but in your notes, I would like you to write down, excuse me, page 112, example number 3. Page 112, example number 3. I'm going to go ahead and fill these in for you real quick here. This here was y. I guess I'll use a different color so it shows up a little better. In your books, you will see this equation. Y equals -2x plus 1. Okay? And then this ordered pair right here is, let's see if I can find it. It's right here, and it's 4, 0. Okay, there. That's all in your book. Okay? This is line 2 right here, so I'm going to put line 2, and this right here is line 1. Okay? Now let's read the problem carefully. The line L1 is given by y equals 2x plus 1. So this equation right here that I'm circling is the equation for line 1, for this line right here that I'm highlighting in red. Okay? All right, let's continue on. Line 2, or L2, is perpendicular to line 1 and passes through the point 4, 0. Find the equation for line 2. Okay, as soon as you hear the words find the equation or write the linear equation, here's what you should think all the time from now on. You think of point, think of slope, and think of formula. Okay? All right, here we go. Now, here's the line that we're trying to find the equation for right here. Do we know a point that lies on that line? Yeah, right here, 4, 0. They give it to us. So there's our point right there, 4, 0. Now, do they give us the slope of this line right here? Unfortunately, they don't. But you know what they do give us? They give us the slope of this line here, students. We know the slope of this line. We do, Mr. Hart? Yeah, look. Here's your equation. Y equals negative 2x plus 1. So y is all by itself. So the number next to the x is your slope. So here's x right here. Here's your x coefficient right here, negative 2. So the slope of this line 1 right here is negative 2. Now, you might say, oh, that's easy. Then the slope of line 2 is negative 2. Now hold it. If the two lines were parallel, then they have the same slope. These two lines are not parallel, they're perpendicular. Remember what to do? Whenever you're dealing with perpendicular slopes, you change the sign and you flip the slope. So the slope of this line here, line 1, is negative 2. Negative. So I know my slope over here is going to be positive. Change the sign. And then you take 2, which is the same thing as 2 over 1, and you flip it. And if you flip 2 over 1, you get 1/2. So there we go. So now we know the slope of line 2, 1/2. And now we're all set, guys. Here's your x, here's your y, here's your m. So let's make our substitutions. Where y is, I will substitute 0. Where m is, I will substitute 1/2. Where x is, I will substitute 4, and then bring down your positive b. Next, I will take 1/2 times 4, which gives me 2. If you're not good with fractions, then use your calculator, plus b. Now, take your 2, bring it over, and it becomes a negative 2. So your 2 is gone, and you have a negative 2 here. 0, negative 2 is negative 2, equals b. So students, please look. You have your m, you have your b, so write your linear equation. Y equals, next comes your slope, 1/2, x, and then next comes your b, or your y-intercept. There, we did it. So if you were to graph y equals 1/2 x minus 2, you would get this equation right here, or you would get this line right here. Okay, pretty cool. All right, let's try a couple of these on your own now. I would like you to go ahead and turn to page 115 and look at number 22, if you would, please. The directions read as follows. Please turn your books to page 115, example number 22, and write this in your notes, if you would, please. Put 115, number 22. Put that in your notes, okay? And the directions read, write an equation of the line that is parallel to line L, or to the line, and passes through point P. So they're asking you to write the equation of a line that's parallel to this line going through this point. So here's the point they give you, and just imagine you have a parallel line drawn right here. They want you to find the equation of this line right here. Now don't freak out. Remember, you need a point, the slope, and your formula. So I'm going to go ahead and ask the supervising teacher to pause the video at this time, and I want you students to try this on your own. And then if you're stuck, don't be discouraged. Just kind of sit there and try it on your own. And then when the video is unpaused, you guys can go ahead and watch me work the problem out and see how you did, okay? Go ahead and pause the video at this time. Everybody work on this problem, and then turn it back on when the students are ready. Okay, students, here we go. Hopefully you've done okay with this example. As soon as you realize they're asking you to write a linear equation, you know right away you need a point that falls on the line, you need the slope of the line, and you need this formula right here, y equals mx plus b. So, do I know a point that falls on the line? Yes, right here. They told us they want the line that you're looking for to pass through this point right here. So what is the name of that point? Well, it's over negative 3. And it's down 1. So negative 3, comma, negative 1. Now if you make any mistakes on this problem, if you made any mistakes, fix them. Get out your eraser and fix it, okay? So there's the point, negative 3 and negative 1. Now, notice they give us the equation for this blue line. Do you see this blue line right here? they give you the equation. It's right here. Look in your books. You'll see it. Y equals negative 2/3 x. Y equals negative 2/3 x. So, students, look. Y is all by itself. What is the coefficient of the x? Negative 2/3. So if the coefficient of the x is negative 2/3, then that means, hold on one second please, that means that the slope of this blue line right here is negative 2/3. Now think about that. If the slope of this blue line is negative 2/3 and the line I'm looking for is parallel, then they have the same slope. So my slope is negative 2/3. So I have an x, I have a y, I have an m. I'm ready to use my formula. Where the y is, I will substitute negative 1. Where the m is, I will substitute negative 2/3. Where the x is, I will substitute negative 3. And then bring down my positive b. And here we go. Negative 2/3 times negative 3 would be a positive 2. If you struggle with fractions, use your calculator, okay? Bring this positive 2 over, and when you bring it over, it becomes a negative 2. So this is gone, negative 2. So you're left with negative 3 equals b. So look what you know, students. You know b is negative 3. You know the slope is negative 2/3. You're ready to write your equation. Y equals, and then next comes your slope, so negative 2/3 x. And then next comes your b, or your y-intercept. And so there it is. You just found the equation of a line that's parallel to this blue line and passes through this point right here, negative 3, negative 1. Pretty cool, okay? Okay, last problem, and we're done for the video, okay? I would like you to try this one on your own. I want you to find the equation of a line that is perpendicular to the given line and passes through the given point. So no graph this time, no graph, just an equation. Here's the equation, and I want you to write a linear equation of the line that's perpendicular to this line, and the line that you're trying to find the equation of passes through this point right here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and ask the teacher to pause the video. I want everyone to work diligently on this and do a really good job. And as soon as you're done, as soon as everybody is ready, go ahead and unpause the video again, and we'll see how you guys did. Okay, students, hope you guys did okay. Here we go. As soon as you realize that you're writing a linear equation, you should think right away. I just want to really drill this into your head, students. You think point, you think slope, and you think formula. Okay? Now, do we know a point that lies on the line that we're looking for? Yes, we do. Right here, negative 2, negative 1. They tell us that right here. They want you to find the equation of a line that passes through the given point. So the line you're looking for passes through this point right here. So we do know a point that's on the line. Now, do we know the slope? Well, let's see. The two lines that we're dealing with are what? Perpendicular. So, if the slope of this line here, notice y is all by itself, and the coefficient of the x is negative 1/6. So if the slope of this line is negative 1/6, then the slope of this line would be, well, it's negative, so we make it positive. It's 1/6, so we flip it and we get 6 over 1. Look at that. We have our point, we have our slope, we have our formula. This is your x, this is your y, this is your m. We are all set. For the y, I'm going to substitute negative 1. For the m, I'm going to substitute 6. And for the x, I'm going to substitute negative 2 and then bring down my positive b. Okay, we have negative 1 equals 6 times negative 2 is negative 12 plus b. Then we're going to bring the negative 12 over, and when we bring the negative 12 over, it's going to be a positive 12. So we're left with 11 equals b. Okay? Negative 1 plus 12 is 11. So we have our slope, we have our y-intercept, or b, so we're ready to write our linear equation. Y equals 6x plus 11. Okay, y equals 6x plus 11. Now, students, sorry about that. That's it, guys. I hope this video has been a help to you. Contact me if you have any questions, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.